and welcome back to the League of Extraordinary Atheists for Humanism, where we attempt to apply logic and reason to religion and politics. I almost forgot the important part. And I'm your overexposed host, Mac, Great Skeptic, and I'm here with my lovely co-host,
Christy. Hi, guys.
Hey, Christy Santiago.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Thank Godless it's Friday.
Yeah.
To clear up a quick thing, real quick, we do not have anyone from the non-sex show on tonight. We tried to change the description and stuff down below, but it looks like it's still popping up in some places. So we're going to hold off on having either of the hosts on until things are a little bit more sorted out. But we do plan, we do hope to have Kyle and Steve both on sometime in the near future, because they both, as content creators, have a lot to offer, and we both still love them both. So hopefully we can get something set up in the near future. But for now, we're going to go into current events, and then we're going to have our Q&A for everyone, because we are just about 10 or 11 away right now from hitting our subscribers. So
as
share
maybe caller says.
Are you excited? Are you excited?
A little teeny bit.
A little teeny.
It's a huge milestone, I think.
It is. I'm very, very excited. So yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go. I'll give one, and then you can give one, and then I'll give one. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds
Cool.
Good.
So the thing I want to just briefly touch on is Jon Stewart recently went to House Judiciary Committee, a part of a Congress, to excuse me, to advocate to help get the 9/11 first responders their health benefits, to get them paid for, because it's been 18 years and Congress is still dragging their feet to make sure they are fully funded for all the chemo they have to go through and everything else they have to go through, because they just haven't been taken care of. They just have not fully been taken care of, I should say. In 2015, they passed legislation to give them funding for 5 years, which was only about $7 billion. And that money's about to run out before 2020, because there's been 22,000 cases where these first responders have had to go in and get treatment because of all the health issues concerning Ground Zero. So if you guys haven't heard about this, or if you haven't seen Jon Stewart's testimony at Congress, it is very moving. It is very, very good. And if you have seen this, and if you haven't, make sure afterwards you look up Now This on YouTube and Jon Stewart, because they did excuse me, they did end up passing this for this committee. So it's going to the House of Representatives, where it seems like it's going to pass, and then it's going to the Senate, and we know how that goes. So we're crossing our fingers, but we're not sure. But it has passed the first step. And then this segment that I want you guys to look up. Sorry for the traffic. He's given the firefighter jacket of Ray. I can't remember his last name. Ray, who he worked with a lot to try to get the support for these bills to pass over the last 18 years. He just passed away in 2017, and he was a really good friend of Jon Stewart. Someone had put it up to sell it for funds. Yeah, for auction. And I think that man's brother outbid 3 people for it.
Yeah.
So give it to Jon Stewart because he felt like he deserved it because he's been fighting for over the last 10 years just with them. He's been like their biggest champion. So it's a really, really moving thing that's been going on. And Jon Stewart's there every single year to remind Congress and everyone. Never forget, because that's what you said you'd fucking do.
Right.
He ended his testimony with, and I'm paraphrasing, but very closely. They showed up to do their jobs. 18 years later, do yours.
Yeah.
And that's all he's advocating for. And it's sad that 18 years later, he still has to say it.
Yeah, I know. I know.
So that's all I have on that.
Right. Yeah, my daughters are 24. June 4th, Jordan turned 24, and June 26th coming up, Isabel will be 21. And neither of them know of a time or remember a time when we weren't at war in Afghanistan. They don't know anything else. I mean, I was a kid pretty much, when it all went down too in my early 20s. But I remember it being a big deal, and now it's just like, oh, well, yeah, we're still there. It's just part of life that we're at war in 8 countries, having a good old time, warring it up. Yeah. No, I'm not a grandmother. Mark Caesar.
Mark.
Not yet, but I am actually looking forward to that chapter of my life. I cannot wait. I had a fantastic time as a stay-at-home mom playing with mine, and it will be even better because they'll be mine, and they can go back to mine. And be like, grandma's a little bit tired. Your mom needs to come get you. Yeah, off topic, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I can't even imagine. I love them already, and I haven't even met them. So, yeah, that's exciting.
It is. I mean, like, I know it all. I know it is because I made some grandbabies for my parents, so like, I know they enjoy it.
Yes, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what do you have for us, Miss Christy?
Ooh. So, I hope everybody's paying attention to a little bit of world news. Hong Kong has got massive protests this past week. And there's a lot of history into it. And I encourage you, implore you to actually go to read all you can on it and the history of the umbrella movement. Hong Kong, quick synopsis. Hong Kong and, China and in the UK, there were wars, and Britain owned Hong Kong as a colony. It became very populated, very prosperous colony, and a lot of Chinese mainlanders trying to get away from China moved to Hong Kong long time ago. Back before there were photographs even. A long time ago. Well, in 1990, or in the 80s, Thatcher from England, her and the leader of China signed this thing that, for 99 years from the time that Britain was essentially giving Hong Kong back to China, but there would be this time that Hong Kong would be able to keep their own laws, their own way of life, a democracy, voting, being able to have protests, freedom of speech, being able to read what you want, to say what you want, to practice the religion that you want or not. They wanted to keep all those things, and so that was signed into it, and that was great for a while, because out of the whole economy for a year, Hong Kong would bring in about 25% of that yearly. That's a lot for one little city for a huge country like China. Well, then China has had this huge economic boom, as everybody knows, in the last 10, 15 years. And now Hong Kong doesn't, it's like 3% of the entire year. So they don't have as much leverage anymore. And even though there were treaties signed, China doesn't want to wait anymore to claim Hong Kong as its own. So all these protests that people are doing, one big one that they do is because of the umbrella movement that I had mentioned earlier, was a protest for democracy many years ago, not too long ago, but the umbrella. So just keep that in mind. Well, when that protest happened, people were killed. China came in and shut it down. There were lots of injuries and lots of deaths. And so every year, Hong Kong shows up into this one area and the whole city shuts the lights off. And they have these candles to represent, that it's their demonstration every year that they lost all these people for the right, fighting for democracy. Well, they also, more people have shown up than ever because they might lose the right to even do this, to come out once a year with candles, because that is not allowed underneath China's one-party rule. It's just not allowed. There's no protesting. So there's a lot going on, and Hong Kong is like this big compared to China, and I don't understand even how to wrap my mind around the fight ahead of them. My heart breaks watching them in the streets, just, we're about to lose all of it. China doesn't want to wait. It's supposed to be 2021, 2041. I'd have to look up the exact numbers. It's not supposed to be right now. There's supposed to be at least another decade or two before they are gotten used to China's law. That's what these buffering years were supposed to be. But Hong Kong wants their sovereignty, and they want to stay. I mean, they're not their own country. It's a difficult situation. Just keep your eyes on them. Watch Hong Kong, because its history is being made right now. And if you're anything like me, you would want Hong Kong's anonymity and rights and freedoms to remain with the people and not be taken because of there's no reasons to take people's rights. I don't think that rights can be taken. I think that they're inalienable. We are born with certain rights. That's how I feel. So that's all. Your turn.
Thank you. No, I just want to say that I've followed a little bit of the Hong Kong issue recently, and it really is scary for them, because when they were ruled by Britain, they got democracy, and they like that. They like what they have, how they're running their government, and they don't want to lose it. So integrating back into China right now is really not what they want. So it's kind of hard to say what would really be best for the Hong Kong people. I have very little to no input on what would be best for them, but it seems like they are reacting, right? They want to keep their democracy, and I feel like if that's what they want, they should be able to keep it.
I mean, you got to understand, they've had a nice taste of what it's going to be like. There was a bookstore in the middle of the city in Hong Kong, not mainland China, where they sold all types of books, just like you'd walk into a bookstore here, and there were books that were critical of people in leadership, people that are in leadership now, that stated the frauds they were involved in, who they did them with. Well, 5 people that worked, don't own the bookstore, do not, haven't written any of the books, just showed up to work. They've gone missing to this day. where they are. Yeah, they're gone. One of them has been seen, and it's pathetic. It's pitiful. He's scared and crying, saying he's so sorry that he would never do the things that he's accused of again. What? Selling books? Like, it's so sad. That bookstore is closed now. You're not allowed to have those, opposing thoughts. And if you do have them, better not tell anybody, because they're taught on mainland China to tell on each other. There's like this system there. You don't just have a credit score, you have a moral score. It's insanity. You can't get a loan or even check out a book at the library if your moral score is low. You have to go sweep places, help people out, clean things to get your moral score back up. It's not a good look, China. And now they have a president for life. Oof.
It sounds to me, and not to correct me if I'm wrong, sounds to me just a little bit like how the Jehovah's Witnesses would like to run a society. You have a credit score and a moral score, and you got to tell on everyone around you.
Pretty much, yeah. It does sound a lot like that.
Yeah. So, as soon as she said that, I'm like, oh, that sounds like this. So, I had to point that out there real quick. All right, so moving on real quick.
Hold on, I forgot to mention the biggest is an extradition bill. I don't know how I even forgot that. Yes, they come out with the candles every year. Yes, it's bigger than ever because they are about to lose their democracy, and all of these things are going on. China is pushing their ideology onto Hong Kong, starting with grade school children. Also, every night on the nightly news, and for the past few years, every night when the news starts, it's the Chinese national anthem that shows Hong Kongers doing traditional Chinese arts and things like that. It also, they stopped teaching in Cantonese, is what Hong Kongers speak, have spoke. It's their language, and it is not taught in the school. Teachers are not allowed to teach with it. The kids have to speak Mandarin. And so the news is in Mandarin. You can see they even know it. You can watch the Hong Kongers being interviewed, and they'll say things like, colonizers know that if you want to stomp out a tradition or a type of people and their traditions be replaced, the first thing you have to eliminate is their language. And we did that with the natives here in this country, cut all their hair, made them speak English, and sent them off to English-speaking schools. It works. It's not the right thing to do. It's not good. So the extradition bill is China's way of, if somebody does something in Hong Kong, China wants to be able to extradite that person to China, which, no. And the leader of Hong Kong right now is very pro-China. Because Hong Kong was able to vote, China got really involved in the last elections, in the last few elections, and this time their person won out. So, and the plot thickens. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. It's not funny.
With elections. Stop screwing with elections. We'll get our own under control and then figure out how to be a shining example. Try that. Anyways, so the other thing that I wanted to bring just a little bit of attention to tonight is the NIFB. Sure, everyone here has heard about it. If you haven't, it's the new independent fundamentalist Baptist church. I believe Steve Anderson is the one who's in charge of like the whole organization, the whole church. They have about 30 churches. And the reason I'm bringing them to your attention tonight, if you haven't heard somehow, is they're holding a Make America Straight Again, a massive conference this weekend. It started today, goes on through Sunday. And this is during the third anniversary of the Pulse nightclub massacre, which is pretty gross, right? It's not only on Pride Month, it's not only in Orlando, it's on the third anniversary of this shooting. So, some good news that comes from this is a lot of people in our community have made videos bringing this to people's attention. So, Search the Skeptic, Shannon Q, GE, and KC have. Atheist Rationale has done a ton of work over at least the last 8 months. I plan on reaching out to him very soon to also collab with him. I hope he will. And that's not all. More people have. And the one of the references I have pulled up is the Friendly Atheist. So he's also been covering this story. So all of these people have come together to try to focus on this topic because it's very important. And one reason that is so important is because I've said it before many times. I'm all for free speech, right? I'm even for free speech to the point of hate speech. Fine, yeah, have your hate speech. Say that you hate people's and show that you're a bigot, so we can point that out. That's wonderful. Thank you. But when it gets to the point of calling for violence, then it's not okay anymore. And what Steven Anderson does, and Tommy McMurtry, if I can say it right.
McMurtry. Sorry.
The possible pumpkin lover. I'm not sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. And also Preacher Cupcake. Powell. They all call for some form or another of just death, basically, to any homosexuals, which they conflate with pedophiles.
Yes.
They're very disgusting. They push their free speech to a point to where it really shouldn't be respected at all. So our community has taken it upon themselves to make sure that the world knows not only that Tommy McMurtry may or may not be sexually attracted to pumpkins, but also that they are calling for the death of homosexuals. And if not by their own hands, certainly by the hands of the government, because they're doing wrong. And it's the government's job to kill evildoers, right?
Sanctioned by the state. Sounds a little fashy.
Yes.
A little bit fashy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a little bit. So if you haven't heard about this, there are many videos in our community about this. All you got to do is ask. We'll send you a whole bunch of them. Also, there's a website I couldn't quite find. I was trying to look it up. I think it's just www.tommymcmurtry.com. Isn't that it?
I think so.
I think it is. But, yeah. www.tommy, Tommy, McMurtry, which is MCMURTY.
I just chucked it in the chat.
Yeah.
Yay.
Thank you.
What would we do without you?
And so we have that nice little website. I don't know if that was set up by Mr. Atheist or Surus, or it was someone in this movement. It's the anti-NIFB.
Mm-hmm.
They also have a website. There's been a lot of work going into this anti-movement.
That's PayPal. Right?
Yeah, we got their PayPal shut down because they're a hate group. So this whole thing, not just the work that the content creators have put into it, but the response and the attention that our viewers are giving to this situation, is really making a difference. It's making a difference in Google searches. It's making a difference in PayPal accounts, their finances. And we have protesters on the ground at this Make America Straight Again conference. Thomas Westbrook is in Florida. He's in Orlando right now.
That's amazing.
Helping to protest. And he was on the news. He was on Spectrum News. I think it's their tweet is my news 13 at my news 13. So they're local news. He's there, and he had just a clip, but they were going to follow up with him again tonight. I haven't seen anything else up on it, but we're making waves, guys. Our community is really making waves in this field here, and that's amazing to see. So if you haven't really looked into it, I strongly suggest that you do, because as gross as it is, it makes you feel good inside that we can make a difference in this area.
Yes, and help stop letting hate be profitable. Stopping the profit of hate is the whole goal, because people are still going to be nasty. But if companies care about their bottom line, even PayPal. So when it's brought to their attention, hey, did you know that your name is, people can hit a hateful person, a bigot's name at PayPal me. For me, it would be PayPal me Christy or whatever it is. Their name's on it. So is yours. And by doing that, they look at the grand scheme of all these people, and this is just one. So they'd rather just get rid of that one. And right, that's what we want. You can still set up your own website. I mean, Alex Jones has his own website, but he's just not allowed to profit on other people's platforms.
Right.
I agree.
Last thing on this, and then Christy, you could take it away with our last topic if you have one. The Godless Australian mentioned in the chat one thing that I forgot to mention, which I wanted to because it's important, is please stay safe, everyone. I'm so worried that they'll make a parody of the Florida Stand Your Ground laws. We were also warned when I watched the non sequiturs bet on this, because these people are Second Amendment gun toting, rootin' tootin', probably want you to fuck with them during a protest kind of people, which is very, very dangerous. And we don't like martyrs here, right? So don't push them, because they'll push back and then they get more attention, bad attention. Just don't get shot. Just don't get shot, and don't push them. Don't push them at all. Keep your distance and just peaceful protest. That's what we want. And add pumpkins to all your social media accounts. Because making fun of them seems to be the most effective things right now, because they fucking hate it. So let's just keep making fun of their nonsense beliefs, because that's...
And not mean making fun of. Don't be mean. Pumpkins are appropriate because it's absurd. A grown man will get upset over a pumpkin.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, yeah, keep it, fuck it. We are... The ideology behind humanist is superior to hateful bigotry. And by being mean to him, other people who may be looking in thinking, yeah, he is a little too much, might not listen to one of us and might not make it out of that cult or magical thinking altogether, because they see someone being mean instead of... If you're offended by pumpkin, then we probably can't reach you anyway. But most people can look in on that and think, this is a grown man, a pastor, supposed to be a leader. Why is he upset over pumpkins? Like, are you sexually attracted to pumpkins? Is that why it bothers you? I mean, we'll never know if he is or isn't
We'll never
sexually
know.
attracted to pumpkins.
Unless we find a pumpkin tape.
Oh,
Scandal.
doesn't exist.
So, anyways, let's go ahead and move on so we can get to the Q&A soon. What do you
Okay.
have, Christy?
I have a quote from our commander-in-chief.
Oh, boy.
Quote,
I'm not ready.
I think that I'd take foreign dirt on the 2020 rivals. I think that I would take it.
I've never called the FBI in my entire life.
Says a criminal.
Yeah. Yeah, he's...
You don't hear, we don't work with the feds. We don't work with the cops from a president or a so-called conservative. They love each other. You hear that, and I would know, from criminals, Joey Bag of Donuts says, we don't fuck with the FBI. President of the United States doesn't say that. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
So
and...
Joey Bag of Donuts in the office, so... Go peace.
But the FBI director says that you should contact the FBI.
Yes, it is
Oh,
absolutely illegal to take any information from a foreign country about a political rival. I mean, seriously, Mr. President. And then I'm not going to go into it because I don't even know all the information now. It's something that I have been on for about 46 hours now. There's still stuff coming in, and it's the Iran-Japan false flag tanker ship conundrum that's going on right now in the Middle East. Our country has been caught in two lies with this right now, and we look like jackasses when Japan is saying, no, that's not what happened to our ship. We were there. It came from the sky. And we're saying that it was torpedoes from special divers. And I don't know yet. So keep your eyes on that, too. More to come.
Yeah.
To be continued.
From what I hear, this is kind of a common theme. When we don't have evidence of it, direct evidence or like any kind of photographs of anyone doing something to sabotage something,
right?
We say it's divers or they came out at us from underneath. Well, of course we don't have evidence. How could we? It was a stealth mission. It's really easy to shift the blame and say who it is when you don't know who it is.
Well, and then our country says that. Well, Iran says that they went out and got 2 groups of people from these ships to help rescue them. Our intelligence is saying Iran never did any of that. They were never there. But we have satellite documentation showing Iran's boats going out to there around that time and coming back. It's their port. It's damn near in their national water. I don't know what to believe about it. I am 100% skeptical of all sides because I think that a lot of players have a lot to gain. The EAU has a lot to gain, and they're involved. Saudi has a lot to gain, and their money is involved. Iran has a lot to lose because they don't want to go to war with us. That's dumb. And why?
Well, they want peace with us.
They invited Japan over to have friendly talks with Japan as an ally. Then why would they bomb Japan's tanker that just doesn't make sense. None of it's making sense. So.
No, because if you look at their actual actions, like them trying to adhere to the deal that they had with us. I can't remember what it's called right now, Christy.
I know. Yeah, I know.
I don't know, but I don't know.
The nuclear deal.
Yeah, the nuclear deal. They were 100% complying with that deal. They just were.
Yeah.
they only started using nuclear or dealing with any kind of nuclear energy for like renewable clean energy after we pulled out, which is in those accords. It's fine. Like if someone backs out, then they can do this. So they still haven't broken any of the promises. They're still not working on nuclear weapons. But we're making it sound like they are.
Of course.
Which is stupid.
It's very stupid. I don't want to fight anymore.
Yeah. So that's that. Do you have anything else to add on that, or should we move to questions?
No, I will be. I will have a lot more to add when I know more. Right now, I just know probably a lot more than what I just said, but none of it's adding up to a whole story, and only a few things I can back up with. Not just the source where I got it, but the document that they are getting it from. The rest is satellite pictures. I can't read those two. You can look them up though. Last American Vagabond has a nice 19-minute segment on what he could pull up on it. Makes you shake your head. Yeah.
Well, so we'll touch base on that again because it's an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
So, all right. Are you ready for our first question?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. If this doesn't show you, we're ready to answer anything. I don't know what will, because this is a question I don't want to answer.
Oh no.
At all. But I think we'll answer it. Mark Caesar asked at LEAH Podcast, who do you support in the Steve McRae and Kyle Curtis battle? And the answer is, for me at least, I'm not really supporting either of them because I love Steve McRae. Him and Shannon were the first two people that I found in this community. And I love Kyle as well. They both have something to bring to the table, and I think that's what's important. I think that we've had a lot of infights recently, a lot, right? With Rationality Rules, with Maddie, with the non sequitur show, with Essence of Thought, and beyond, right? There's a lot there, and I think what we really need to do is we need to get away from the tribalism, is what it is, at least for me. We are all here for a common goal. Most of us atheist channels are, right? To shed light on the bad parts of religion, which most of us think are most parts of religion. So even if we don't like each other, even if we have differing opinions that are grossly different, we should still be able to come together and make videos on certain topics, because that only adds to the importance of the topics, right? So with the NIFB, Essence of Thoughts should be working with Rationality Rules to bring attention to this awful thing right now, right? Steve McRae and Kyle Curtis should be able to work together on big topics like this. Right. It's just, we need to get past the tribalism in some cases. And I understand why Steve went public about this. I can't say whether or not he should have, because honestly, it's not my fight. Again, I love Steve and I love Kyle, but at the same time, it's a lot to put on the viewers and the other content creators. And I'm not really worried as much about the content creators. Again, I think we should be able to have our own opinions, and then just work together, because that's why we're here, to get shit done. Don't focus on the infighting, focus on the job we want to get done. but it's hard to put on the viewers because the viewers should never ever have to pick who they're watching or pick anything like that. You should just be able to watch the shows you want to watch, agree with the views that you want to agree with, and then disagree with the things that you want to disagree with, and still watch the shows you want to watch. So that's kind of how I see it. If NotJach and Christy have anything to add or their own views, please.
I think that is not my fight. I hate that it's public. I hate that it's friends of mine. My heart breaks. I think that I know what it feels like to have somebody do you wrong. It doesn't matter if somebody did somebody wrong or not. If a person feels that you did, it's relevant. And I do think that, there is relevant reasons to feel that, the rug was pulled out from underneath you. And it's not my fight. I will be there unconditionally for Steve. And I will, Kyle hasn't reached out to me, but I would definitely talk to Kyle too, of course. I have nothing to do with that part of. I think that as hard as it is, it can be something that a group of people can learn from. Not just the obvious what not to do, or not, just learn from, when other people make mistakes in anything. If it's you're painting and there's people that you're painting with and they make mistakes, you can learn, okay, well, when they did that mistake, this happens. So if I want to use that technique to make that happen, I'll do it. Otherwise, it's a mistake kind of thing. Can be moved over and utilized in a lot of parts of our life. I really hope that the tribalism, I know this sounds probably redundant, isn't so bad that the crevice in the community is so deep and so hard to come back from. Many of us came from very indoctrinated states and very tribal and very defensive. And even though we've come a long way from that, that hasn't left, because I don't think that many of us, including myself, it's something I still work on, have dealt with checking your tribalism when you feel it, when you hear it. I always try to say, well, if it's a situation of mine, well, if it was so and so and I'm looking at it, how would I see it? Because that might help me think, okay, well, that might be a little tribal. And I am tribal. I'm a human. My tribe is the best tribe, of course.
Yeah, this is a basic human instinct. This is a human trait. It happens, but we need to just try our best to get over it, I guess.
And if you care about these people, any people, but especially two people that we love, they're going through essentially a type of divorce. I don't care who cares about what happens when it comes down to this person? Is it a friend of yours? Do you care about them? If they need you, would you be there? If they want to talk to you about that particular problem, then listen. If they ask you for advice, then give it. I think the best thing that someone would need being hurt and going through a situation would be to know that no matter what, they can come to you and that you are their friend and that you're not going to judge them. That you're just going to let them go through what they need to go through and grow the way that they need to grow, because there's not an option. You can either stay the same or grow, and I choose to think that many in this community would choose to grow, even if they have to get over that initial, be in it for a minute.
Yeah.
Doesn't help, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It's human. You want to call your tribe in,
Yeah. It can get ugly, but I really hope that they both come to a solution to where they can kind of just shake hands and part ways. Because I think of the best case scenario right now. NotJach, do you have anything you want to add to that?
I'm trying to stay alive at the moment. I definitely don't want to necessarily, like, I don't particularly like the idea of taking sides in anything, especially between other people that it doesn't involve me, and I wasn't brought into it, so it's not really my place. However, there was a lot of moments of complete shock over the last couple of days that I've struggled to not deal with but understand, and I don't know, I think that I still have a lot more to learn about what really was going on, and I think that until I know more, there's no real point in me making any public statement about it.
Yeah, respectable.
But I can pretty much guarantee there won't be that happy ending you were talking about, Mac.
Yeah.
I think we should move on from this topic, though. Mac, can't hear you, by the way.
I said kill my optimism.
Sorry, bro.
You're probably right, but no, I mean, I understand. I'm hoping for the best, but it doesn't mean it'll happen, right? So, all right. Next question, Christy, you're muted. I'm not sure if you're trying to talk.
Not.
Still good.
Okay. Yeah, good. Stay that way. Next up, Beelzebub asked in the live chat, LEAH Podcast, how did the three of you come together to make this show? Well, I'll start us off real quick, and I'll try to be brief so we can get to more questions here. I started a Facebook group. I believe it was May of last year. It was the League of Extraordinary Atheists for Humanism, and it was mostly to kind of help people in our atheist community and then to expand. And a lot of it was charity and kind of make sure everyone was like taken care of, like kind of build a community of people who watch out for each other and can help other people. And like just to be humanist. Excuse me. And then I wanted to make a show as well, but I didn't really have the time, and I didn't have a lot. I felt like I didn't have enough to go off of until I met Christy, because Christy's amazing, and she's super duper into politics, and she comes. Her views are very humanistic, even in her politics, and I found that they were very close to mine. So us both being lefties, and also atheists, and also humanists, really brought a lot to talk about. So we decided, hey, let's do this. Let's kick off this show. And we'll talk about politics and religion. Mm-hmm. And after that first show, and Nadine helping me for about 5 hours, and then me pretty much blowing it, and NotJach watching in horror. Oh no! I want to help you guys.
Like, listen, you too.
It was a great show. It was a great show, and I saw the potential, and I was like, wow, I got to help them out.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. You need to tie your own shoes? Like, what is going on over there? Oh, my story's a little bit different. I put out an ad for 2 strapping young men that I could smack around, and these 2 showed up.
Yep. That's the real story there.
You hear how I found them, Stacey? I remember the ad I put out. Oh, yeah, First 2 strapping young men that I could smack around. Yeah, she remembered.
Hello, Stacey.
Hi,
Hi, Nata. Hi, Mac.
Hi, Lindsay. I know you're behind there.
Yeah, she was very sad that you were sleeping because she has boobs for safety.
Oh, yay, I'm awake.
That's for the after show, yeah.
Obviously.
So quickly.
Oh, goodness. Oh, Alias says hi, too.
all of those stories are overly true. And,
Yes.
yeah, that's how we came together. Because we all have this common goal, and we all want to see this project strive. We all want to see a more humanist community in our atheist community.
Right.
So
Right. I think that for me, it's simple. If Leah is successful and able to have, programs that she does, whether it's feeding the homeless or you live in Ohio, so there are people who are unfortunate that need coats in the winter. It's cold, things like that. For me, if somebody needs something and we have an organization that its sole purpose is to help them have that thing, I'm happy with that. That's, something has something and I have a way to make them not need that thing anymore. That's the reason for doing LEAH. That's to be able to help for the sake of helping, to help because we can. For right now, it's only with creating awareness and, hey, look what we found, what's going on. And I want to tell you about it, but there are a lot of things that we could do with the one thing to help that we have. We do have, all three of us want to do good, not for any other reason, but to help because we can. So,
right. I think. Sorry, Christy. I think eventually we want the show to kind of just be like the perk of the whole organization. Like you get this awesome show, this coolest awesome show, and informing you and being interactive with you while we are actively trying to help people on the ground. I want to actually have fundraisers and do more things like what GE and KC did with the peanut butter last year. And I'm not talking about the thing that they did off camera with GE and the peanut butter and a pocket full of puppies. I'm talking about.
Wait, what did I
we were
miss?
supposed to know about that.
Oh yeah. Except I'll do that as well if it gets us more attention. Yes, what? What?
The curtain talks, ladies and gentlemen. The curtain talks.
The curtain's talking to
The curtain's name is Lindsay.
But yeah, we want to do more active things with this organization. We wanted to be an organization with a fun show so that you guys can watch and that we can put on. So, you guys ready for the next question?
Si, senor.
Great Skeptic, do we have any information on what direction we're heading after this conference? I assume it's the Massacom conference. More and more pumpkins. The pumpkin direction. I think we're yeah. At first, we were really going to try to stay away from the NIFB. A lot of the content creators were. I was still going to try to dive into it, but you see how many like topical videos I have time to put on my channel. I haven't had one up since January. I really only have time to do the interviews live. But a lot of the community is going to continue to be anti-NIFB. We're going to try to bring the attention it deserves. And yeah, so I think that's the direction that is going to be going. Find another question here.
I'm a supporter.
If you got any questions for us, either tag Leah or Christy or Mac.
Yes.
And yeah, ask
Or
away.
Mr. Bean. Or Mr. Bean.
Or Mr. Bean.
Smitty
Looks so comfy.
had me, and he asked what the hell I'm talking about being personally attacked by someone, not wanting to work with them isn't tribalism. I don't really want to get into an argument about this, which is part of the thing that I'm talking about, is having the whole community kind of tribe be tribe is what I'm talking about. It's splitting the community itself to infight, and that really hurts. That hurts a lot of people who don't want to be a part of the conversation. I want them to deal with it themselves, right? I want them to talk to each other, or just get a few of them to infight together. Like, if it just needs to be like Kyle, GC, and KC, and Red, Steve, and someone else, ABC and XYZ going at it. I feel like that's maybe what should be happening. It shouldn't be half the community versus half the community, because it's not fair to the community. We're working to build up the community to work towards common goals, not versus each other on different topics. So that's mine, and I really don't want to say a lot more about it, honestly.
It's just a really open sore right now, and there's a lot of broken heart.
Yeah, and we're all affected by it. I'm having pumpkin soup at the moment. I'm a supporter.
I'm a supporter. Doorknob head.
Have you heard of the Adani coal mine being passed in Australia?
Australia.
I have not. If it's what it sounds like, like they're going to be gathering more coal, I suppose. I'm more or less for. Oh, yeah. Do you have any information on that, Australian?
I know only the rough idea. It's just another big coal mine they're putting in. I mean, it's pretty much a major industry here, like if not the major industry here. And they, as all sort of mines, they don't really give a shit. They can buy everything, get away with anything, change whatever laws, fuck nature, doesn't matter, So
Kind of like what Brazil's trying to do right now.
Yeah, a bit like that.
Yeah.
But,
You guys see what Mexico's doing?
No, but I'm
Scared
sure
for them.
tell it.
I'm scared for them, but I'm also very proud of them. They're planning on nationalizing the resources.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, so this new president, instead of keeping all of these, people big companies, corporations bid on who is going to be taking away this crude oil and refining it, because they get to make a lot of money off of it.
Yeah.
Well, those, whatever their contracts, as they've been timing out, the date comes where they're, the end of the lease or whatever is up. This new president has not been renewing them. Exxon, Shell, BP, name one multinational American, UK, or France company that has to do with oil, and they are involved. Well, he has not renewed any of them, and just announced that he's spending $800 billion to create and build their own oil refinery, which is what Chavez did for Venezuela. As far as not a refinery, but, you know, hey, we're not going to renew. We're going to do it ourselves, and we're going to let it benefit our own people. It's scary because I don't know if America is going to flip their freaking lid because it's so close, you know. Can't have economic justice that close to our border. Are you kidding me? Something to watch. It's exciting.
Yeah. And I know Alaska has they've not nationalized but stationalized, I guess.
You got stationalized.
Their oil. So you wouldn't dare take that away from Alaskans. They get a check every month for the oil that their state produces. Cool. Also, be nice if we could get away from oil though, and if we could not have this coal mine because we can do better. What is it? Is it Cuba or Puerto Rico, who's like 100% renewable energy right now, and they're not technically a first world country?
It's like Costa Rica.
Is it Costa Rica? Or is he just said Costa Rica?
Go, Lindsay.
Yeah,
I'm a curtain.
she's a curtain.
Go, Curtin. Go, Curtin.
That's amazing. Like, so why the fuck can't we do that?
We could.
I think the answer is we can. Yeah.
You know that President Carter put solar panels on top of the White House in like 1975, 76, and Reagan came in and had that shit taken off and thrown in the dumpster.
Ass hat. Jesus Christ.
Because I'm ignorant and proud. Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. Can you imagine? I mean, what if just the White House was completely off grid? That would be so badass. Not that it had to be, but that it could be. Yeah.
Definitely. And but yeah, so as far as the coal mine goes, Meredith is saying that it could be the last nail in the coffin for stopping global warming, and it will also destroy the Great Reef Barrier, which is already not in good shape, right?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Correct. Doing bad.
Yeah, it's
Bleached, right?
yeah, it's bleached, I think. So, and I haven't seen it yet either. And chances are, like, we just won't get to, at least not alive. And that's disgusting. It's so sad. We collectively don't care enough about it. And the Amazon rainforest as well. Like, we're just destroying all these nice natural pockets of nature that we have that really keep the world alive. And the thing I want to add for like global warming stuff is a lot of people say that a lot of people, like especially on the left, like you'll hear AOC say it, like, you know, the world's going to end in 12 years. And that's an over exaggeration, right?
Definitely.
Like
hyperbole.
Yeah. Even if what she thinks is going to happen in 12 years happens earlier, that's cool. It's fine. Like, we don't need to be here for the world to go on.
No.
Like, we
How
don't
arrogant.
need to. That's fine. We're the ones fucking it up.
Yeah.
As far as the Earth's concerned, we deserve what's coming to us. So, like, whatever. But if you don't want that to happen, you could be a little more active on saying this shit shouldn't happen. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, I know the world is not going to end in 12 years. It's 11 now, by the way. That's not exactly what the data says. The data says we have 11 years to completely turn around our energy and the way that we do a lot of things. And I know when she does say things like that, we know what she means. And I'm sure a lot of people on, even they're not dumb. They know how to use what she said to fit a narrative. Well, what she says is not true and it's crazy. So she's a liar and she's crazy. And that's how they spin it. It's
Right. There's no nuance whatsoever.
No.
My main point is, like, don't let that straw man stand. Just be like, hey, look, shit's going to happen. We're going to die or we're not going to die.
Right.
So, this is basically
Do
smoking.
you do or do you don't want to help us not die?
Yeah. I feel like this is kind of like smoking. Like, like, we're going to die eventually. We might as well, like,
Yes, that's
smoke
exactly.
if we want to. And, we're going to die anyways. But at the same time, you could be making it happen sooner. No offense, Christy. Cat.
Yes.
Oh. Did I miss any questions? Are we having any more? Robert asked to see some more kitty. So thank you, Christy.
Welcome. This is Delilah. Look at that sweet baby.
Inquisitive, thanks for subscribing twice.
Yay! Oh, you do that.
Looks like we're only 4 away from 500. Not sure if we're actually make it today.
Ooh.
We don't open another account.
Stacy said, "Do you want me to open another account and sub?"
No. Bad.
Don't do that. We don't
We
want
need
to
a real account.
I was kidding.
He was kidding. All
Unless
right.
everyone wants to make like 50. Everyone makes 50. And we'll go the sock account way.
Oh,
Mm.
that's so funny. Yeah, she's trying to sing a song.
Yeah. Oh,
Just make it
we don't have any more questions. We might get ready to wrap up for the night.
You have to work tonight, Mac?
Of course I do.
Oh, poor baby. And NotJach,
Yo.
you're going to sleep. NotJach's sick. Yeah,
It's the middle of the day there.
right?
Yeah,
but
it's
he
still the
needs
middle
to
of the
take
day.
his booty to bed.
Yeah, they just need
Yep. You need a snuggle buddy. You need a puppo.
Doorknob says ASMR kitty rubbing streams.
Yeah. Pet
them-
the pussy. Pet the pussy.
Of course we are. Brantley, if you've got a question, ask away.
Yeah.
For Brantley, of course. Anything. Almost. I gotta be careful with him.
Almost.
Only take a max of 5 questions from Brantley.
Oh, goodness. Oh, this will add at least 200
Oh,
subs.
but oh, I see what you did.
Yeah. You're a funny man. Get it. Are you still taking questions? That was the question.
That's it. Time's up.
Time's up. Party's over.
Is that all?
Oh,
well,
hello.
no, most of them I don't, actually.
I have a question here that I missed. Hello asked, how is that different from neocon fear mongering? Literally saying the world is going to end. I don't think it's necessarily fear mongering, because I feel like it should be common knowledge enough.
Right, I agree.
I know that we're saying it in like a nuanced way, like the world's gonna end, like the world as we know it is going to end.
It's not-
And I feel like you have a point, but at the same time,
Animals under me all the time.
know that she doesn't
Sorry.
really mean it that way. It's the literal aspect. Christy, do you have anything to add to that?
You're muted.
Sorry, I couldn't
Yep,
breathe.
there
I
you
had
go.
to go blow my nose. I have all this cat and dog. I've had to take a moment and blow it out of my nose. I agree. I think that when it comes to climate science, if you don't like the way that someone is hyperbolic about it, don't listen to her. She's not a scientist. Go to the science, and the science literally says that we have this much time to make drastic changes. Not that the world would end, but what we know of the world right now will start being drastically different. And I don't think that, I mean, I wouldn't have said it the way she said it, but I also said things at age 28 and 29 that now at age 43, I was like, oh God, I was so dramatic. So dramatic. And she's forgiven. I don't forgive people who do literal fear-mongering when they don't have the data behind them. And that is biased. I admit that I'm biased. I'm biased towards scientific facts and doing the right thing. And, you know, the intent also. Her intent, to the best of my knowledge, is to do the right thing. To get people, put a fire under their ass. Like, get up. Democracy is not a spectator sport. You can't sit back and be like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. But that's it. Just point out that things are wrong. You have to say, well, these things are wrong. What's the best thing I can do? I have, an hour every other week that I can dedicate to doing something. Do it. It will make a difference, even if it's just filling your head with more knowledge. The more you know, the more you know. It really is. Knowledge is powerful. We'll see. I mean, AOC has plenty of time to fuck up my opinion of her. Just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical. Anybody can do it.
Yep.
If this past couple of days hasn't reiterated that, anybody, even people that are really close to you, totally flip your life upside down.
Yeah.
Not close to me. She's a politician. I expect politicians to fuck shit up. So.
Yep. So, last question. Saw here. Females Above asked, LEAH Podcast, what's your favorite thing you've done on this channel? And I think we should all answer this.
Yes.
Chrissy, you go first.
Oh, goodness. That's so hard. I can't.
I had a moment to think about that. If you want me to answer first,
Right.
and you can think about it.
Yes.
I find that my favorite thing is actually the interviews, because for the most part they're all selected by Mac, as far as I know, or sometimes Christy, but it's not by me, basically. And I'm always just amazed at these people that, for a lot of the time, I've never heard of before. And I come on, we meet, we do the show, and it just turns out they're the most amazing, interesting, just wonderful folk, and I just love that. And it's always a really interesting experience meeting the cool new people that you guys sort of bring onto the show.
It is cool. It's very fun to do that, and I'm really glad that you enjoy it.
Yes. My life goals are finished. I've done them all now.
It's like making NotJach happy. Can that be my answer?
Right now is the best time ever on LEAH.
Yeah.
Listen to these two. Jesus.
Swoon.
Oh,
goodness.
So, let me think of a more. I'm trying to think of an episode that was like this, kind of beats all the rest. But we've had quite a few really good ones that I'm really proud of. I really like the old deep dives that Christy started out doing. Those are so they get long and dry, but man, it's just the amount of work that she puts to those really makes me happy. And then also having Kim Iverson on the show, that was one of the big things, because she's literally one of my favorite political or news commentators out there. I think David Dole and Kim both are my number one news sources, because they stay so close to the facts and they don't get all hyped up like Kyle Curtis, or not Kyle Curtis.
Yeah,
Kyle, Mike from the Humanist Report, and Jane, because I love all of them. I think they're amazing, and I use them as news sources, but they'll go on and on about how pissed off they are about it. But I feel like Dave and Kim both do a really good job at least 50-50 their opinion and the news. And then they're done. They move on to the next topic, and I love that. It's very digestible and straight to the point, and I like that.
Okay, so all of that, plus brief brain facts and our conversation about individualism and how the way that it is indoctrinated into the American culture is a disease. And I thought about it at least for a moment every single day since. It was really a conversation that resonated with me. And I can see when things happen in real time where it's that American exceptionalism that wants to just come out of me, because that's just what that's what it is. America, fuck yeah. It just is.
America.
Fuck yeah. So I love that she said that. I mean, I was looking to bring that up when she was on, because I've heard her talk about it before. And until I heard her talk about it on a video before she was on with us, I thought that they were just random crazy thoughts that I had. Because how dare I speak out loud that I think individualism is a disease? Because people will be like, the fuck? What's wrong with you? We're all individuals. I know, and I love everyone to be their individual self and be true to themselves. That's not what I'm talking about. Just that rugged, unfettered capitalism, you are on your own, is I'm with her with that. I think that we can do so much better together. So much better.
Together, everyone achieves more.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
True that. All right. Are we ready to wrap this up for the night?
Yes. Hopefully when we wake up, we'll have 500 tomorrow.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
There we go. Cool.
Yes.
Well,
I will show my wife my boobs if we get 500 tomorrow.
According to my numbers, we are 1 away. And we just got another subscriber. Tell me that was the 500. Let me refresh. No, still 499. We're 1 away.
Oh no, bro. It's coming.
Ask the question. Can you help me? Or can you help my... I'm sorry, I can't read right now. Also moving up and down as I'm trying to read it. At LEAH Podcast, can you help my value and option? What's the difference between black schools valuations and Monte Carlo valuations? Am I saying that right? Can someone correct my reading?
Yeah, I read that and I had no idea. I was like, Black Scholes valuations and Monte Carlo valuations. What?
I have to.
Sorry, no idea.
I'm sorry, you've stumped us. You stumped us for the night. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
I mean, I can do some reading if you'd like and tell you what I think about them.
Yeah.
If it has to do with like pseudoscience or something, I can tell you that I am biased as F against pseudoscience. So I probably will be a little cocky about how dumb it is. So I'm just putting that out there. Not you or the people that think it's real, but the actual thing.
We made it to 500.
Hey!
Right.
We did it!
Boobs for Stacy.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. Yay.
Was it TKZ Jones who just jumped in the chat here?
Yay!
The notifications hasn't updated itself to tell me who the latest sub was, because YouTube sucks.
500. You did it. You did it.
Oh, and another freaking atheist is here. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming in.
Jon!
Yes.
See you.
He subscribed about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, sweet.
Many thanks, Don. Love you, buddy.
You
All
number
right.
500. You'll always remember that.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you, everyone, for
Stacey
Coming
said
on.
she's gonna unsubscribe and resubscribe so she can be number 500.
do that for 1,000.
She's got that. Yeah. Ta-da.
All right.
We're-
Thank you, everyone, so much for coming on and watching tonight. Thanks for asking the questions. I hope we see you again next week. We don't know what we're doing yet next week. Might just be another informative episode. If you guys have any suggestions, leave it down in the comments below.
Be nice to each other. Be
Yes.
nice to
Yes.
each other. Please be nice to each other. Also, if you guys have any more questions, because a lot of people are going to watch this once we're done, go ahead,
Yeah.
put them down in the comments at who you're asking, and we'll try to keep up with them all week. Keep answering your questions.
Yeah, and I'll pick up my favorite one maybe.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, see?
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Nacho, for joining us in the talky part of the show this week.
Yay.
Yes,
And,
it gets some rest.
Actually, Nacho, do you want to close us out this time?
No, because I can barely breathe.
You sound
okay.
like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer's Australian cousin.
Poor guy. All right. Good night, everyone. Christy, close us out.
Stay humanist for Godless sake.